Hello, people, and welcome back. Welcome to another video. Good to have you boys with me again. I'm on Union Square, and I am headed north. In Manhattan, I'm headed uptown. I could get on the 4 train right now, just like any other normal New York City long-time inhabitant dweller could. But why do that when I've got $4,000 worth of rocket fuel under my feet? Why would I bother with all that when I can just zoom and glide uptown and hopefully arrive safely by being very cautious and being very careful of all the unexpected obstacles and potholes all around us? Folks, you've come to the right place for action, adventure, and me talking and riding. This is a ride-in chat for yours truly, and what I'll be doing today is riding my veteran Sherman electric unicycle. Be sure to check one out online and purchase one if you're so bold enough. And I'll be getting on this unicycle. I'm on it already, and I'll be headed uptown in Manhattan, running errands, doing what I need to do all day, but also having fun in the process and saving plenty of coins per mile. How do I do this, you're thinking? What's the cost for entry or price of entry? The price of entry is about $800 to $1,200 to get started, and anyone can start on $800 to $1,200. You really can't go lower than that if you're an adult. If you're a kid, or if you want to buy one for your kids, get a $500 one, the V5F. Perfect entry wheel. An adult can learn on that one too, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's a little small and flimsy. You really want to spend your money on something substantial that will last you at least a few months. And for that, you want to get a V8F or S16 or an 18XL, which will run you a little more, maybe around $1,000, give or take, depending on which model you go for. But believe me, instead of spending $300 on a scooter that you have to throw out in the garbage after about 6 months, yes, I've had them. I'm talking from experience. I'm not just making it up. You want to buy a wheel for about $1,000, 3 times more. Sounds steep. Sounds like you can get a whole lot of scooter for that money instead of getting a tiny wheel for $1,000. But the truth is, you're much better off. Wheels require way less maintenance. They have way better track records for lasting and lasting. They don't have moving parts like a scooter does, and they just generally do a lot better. Not to mention they're a lot more fun, and they give you more versatility as a rider. Now, if you're all about safety, this guy's looking around, he's sightseeing while he's driving. If you're just a train rider, someone who's really not into the whole danger scene, understandable. You know, I had to be a driver for a long time before I could be a scooter or wheel rider. And that helped me understand the car's thinking, the car's mindset. Because without that, I don't think I could have pulled this off. You have to know how fast the car can accelerate in your mind and where your limits are, your braking points. Without knowing that information, you're really putting yourself in a vulnerable and precarious situation. You really want to be able to tell yourself that you have enough space and time to make certain moves. Because if you don't, then your timing might be off. And timing is everything in this game. Like right now, I can see that this is not the go for me. I can go through these really tight crevices, but it's probably better if I maintain distance and make sure that I don't get clipped. Fellow riders out there do get clipped, but and they live to tell the tale and they fight another day. But you don't want those setbacks. Your knees, your arms, your stomach, your ribs, all your organs. You don't want those setbacks. You want to be able to ride around safely. And I'm just trying to retrace my steps so I can help you guys and tell you what it takes to be basically a maniacal city traveler, a person who can get around up and downtown quickly and efficiently. But I don't want you to think that if you aren't risking your life, then there's no chance of it. I want you to think that it's possible and that anybody can do it, because that's the absolute truth. Really, anybody can do it. And I don't think you have to start out as an aggressive, experienced car driver to be able to pull any of this stuff off. I think you really can do this, whether you have the wherewithal to or not, or whether you think you do or not. Pedestrians always get the right of way as far as I'm concerned. I will put myself in front of a fast moving car and cut it close, but I won't cut it close with pedestrians. It's not fair to them for me to risk. I can risk myself, but I can't risk someone else. And a car, it's like, even a car is like, it's not the person, it's a car. So more than likely the car will be alright if a car smacks you up. But this is Macy's, by the way, Herald Square, the world famous 34th Street, where a lot of the parades happen. So if you're not familiar with New York, have a gander, take a look around. I'm cutting through, trying to get through from Union Square all the way up to 86th Street. And if you're with me now and you're liking this content, you have to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. Make sure this gets proliferated if you think it deserves to. And if not, then don't. Just don't worry about it. It's fine. It's understandable, and you have your right, and I'm sure justification to your opinion, and I can appreciate that. If you do think it's cool, let me and others know. Leave a comment, and so on. I probably will never stop riding my wheel until I'm physically unable. That's how much I feel drawn to the wheel life. That's how much I feel satisfaction from moving around on my wheel. Woo. I hope everyone out there rides safely. Shout out to all my fellow riders and fellow YouTube riders and fellow riders on Facebook, and all the people out there, and even to my non-riders who are considering it, and even to my non-riders who would never do it but love seeing it, and even to the non-riders who hate seeing it and like to leave comments like, that's dangerous and you shouldn't be doing this. Everybody out there, nothing but love, folks. New York City, I'm headed straight to Central Park, which is right down there. I'm going to wait for these pedestrians to cross, and let's take a gander around, shall we? So this is Bryant Park on 42nd Street, and these are the famous glass buildings of the financial structure in Midtown on 42nd Street. And what avenue is this? 6th Avenue, I'm gonna guess? Yeah, 6th Avenue. And 6th Avenue will take you straight up to Central Park, where I'll probably jump into the path and head north, continuing on my route to find 86th Street. Yeah, so this is like kind of a financial area. If you're a banker or something like that, you probably work in this part of town. A lot of cool, tall buildings, a lot of big, wide streets, very fancy stores. A lot of bikes, taxis, a lot of EUCs. No, not a lot of those. I don't know where you would find a lot of EUCs, except for maybe the Kung Fu Tea shop downtown. But that shut down. R.I.P. T. And I wonder what the next spot. Anybody out there know where the new spot is? Is it AI Rides? No, that's not a hangout spot. It's a nice, cool, professional shop up in Hunts Point in the Bronx, where you can get service and products, but it's not the new Kung Fu Tea or hangout for wheels and scooters like I might be suggesting. I don't think that's the case. Sammy, if you're in there, leave a comment to let us know from the AI Rides channel. This is Radio City Music Hall, a fine site, a place where you can see famous live performances by world-class talents. People from around the world who come to visit New York probably have a show booked here where they can watch something cool. Whoa. Yeah. So that car just kept inching closer and closer. It's like he couldn't see me or something. But I wasn't going to let him have it. Oh, shout out also to ETA on the EUC. I wish you good luck out there, bud. I know you're working hard. I see it. I'm following your journey. Enjoying your videos. I hope you keep making more videos. Who else? So many channels I watch out there. Every video I make now, I'm trying to shout out, make sure I get everyone's name in there of the people who I enjoy checking out on YouTube and maybe Instagram and others. Definitely check it out. The big scene out there. Oh, Duff is another good guy. And who's the guy that I'm gonna have trouble remembering his name right now. The guy with Marty, who is the fast rider. Chris Chappell, maybe, something like that. Chappelle. Shout out. Dawn, EUC girl, a world-class talent who's doing what I think is breaking new ground in the EUC game. There's a couple guys, I don't know their names, these French guys who do like ice skating tricks on the wheel with like one leg. Shout out to those guys. I don't know their names, but I am blown away by their skill. They've turned EUC riding into some kind of dance art. You should check them out. Just write EUC dance or something. And those guys, wow. I don't know if they can like do a good straightaway race like Wheezy and U-Stride, but they can sure as heck, you know, balance themselves in a way where you wouldn't expect. Shout out to NYPD, guys. NYPD, you guys are cool. You're doing good out there. I appreciate you guys pretty much live and let live as far as the EUCs, and I haven't heard any negative, crazy reports in the media about cops busting chops or anything like that. So I think the whole of society can definitely appreciate the good vibes coming from NYPD right now. Shout out to Leatt, who makes this armor, who I feel safe under. I feel safe under this armor, safer than when I don't have it. For a long time, I felt exposed and vulnerable when riding my EUC. I felt like my mushy organs were just open to collision, and it was kind of an unsettling feeling, and I never quite fully understood. I mean, from time to time, I would mention it, and it did feel, and I did kind of articulate it, but once I got the thing and I wear it now, it just feels so much better. I feel like if I had to tuck and roll or anything like that, I'd be in a much better place. These gloves from ILM, also I'm a big fan. Shout out to ILM who makes this helmet and these gloves. Shout out to Leatt again for the knee pads. I had the really fancy knee pads, the more expensive ones, but I couldn't hack it. They were a little bit too much, too heavy on my knees, too much mass. And so I felt like these more basic ones, which aren't basic compared to regular knee pads, but they're basic for Leatt, because Leatt has Z-frame, C-frame, dual axis, all this extra craziness, which might be great for like motorcycling or something, but right now, these really spoke to me. Shout out to Movo and Boya for the wireless microphones. Shout out to Insta360 for the X3 camera. By the way, when it comes to the X3 camera, it's not super great out the box. You really have to tinker with it and learn how to export your videos in the top quality settings. So definitely tinker with it and leave a comment or a question below if you want to know what I do to get the most out of my Insta X3, and even recording strategies, like what looks good and where should I be holding the camera, and when is a good time to move the angle and when isn't, and all kinds of questions related to the Insta360. I haven't fully mastered it 100% yet, but I'm definitely getting up there among the top ranking users of the Insta360. I'm going to go ahead and just declare that unilaterally without anyone to verify that or check that. But no, really, I've used it on the iPad, I've used it on other devices, and I can tell you without a doubt it's the best camera out there. Well, I haven't used the GoPro 360, so maybe that one's better, I don't know, but the Insta's really good. It's not leaving me wanting very much at all. So let's see, shout out who else? Shout out Leatt Kim for making this wheel, this veteran Sherman. This is one of their first wheel. This is their first wheel I'm riding, and it's still holding up to today's tribulations big time, even though they now have 4 wheels or 5 wheels. The veteran Sherman Max, the veteran Abrams, the veteran Sherman S, and the veteran Patton, and the veteran Lynx. The veteran Lynx is by and far the top electric unicycle wheel on the entire market. If you want to get a top wheel right out the gate, if you're a new rider, just get the veteran Lynx. It's $4,200. You're going to have to spend about $1,000 on accessories for it, like pads, like lowering brackets, like a seat, and pedals. So that's an extra $1,000, so it's $5,100 or something like that. And then you're gonna have to spend about another $500-600 on safety gear. So you're talking about $6,000 entry price. But some of you guys out there have money. Just stop playing around. Stop goofing. Stop saving your money in the bank. Spend the $6,000 and put yourself among the elite class of society, the secret Avengers, those running around the city with impunity, without limitations, warriors of the streets. Unite. So that's the veteran Lynx. And then if you want to drop it a notch or two from there, by all means go right ahead. But any of the Leatt Kim wheels are great. The Patton, the Sherman S, the veteran Sherman, the Max. The Sherman Max just dropped down to $3,000 for the first time on e-wheels. That's a great investment for sure. Be sure to check it out. Folks, thanks again so much. Have a great day. I hope all of you find success, love, joy, happiness, and all the great things in life that are worth chasing after. See you guys. Goodbye. I'm not going to stop the video yet, so keep it running for a second. I'm going to still move a couple blocks before I turn it off. And yes, I'm going the wrong way against traffic. Okay, now I'm going on the sidewalk because it's actually a green light and cars are coming. Yeah, so when you ride, you really have to learn how to control the wheel and bend your knees and all that good stuff. It's not just get on and go. Shout out to Jonas, a young man who also learned the wheel, and Ozzy. Shout out, guys. Pardon, excuse me. It's okay, thank you. Who else? Shout outs Wally Man, shout out T, shout out T, shout out everybody. You guys are great. Have a good day, everyone. Okay, viewers, goodbye.